Okay, I think we are officially live. Hello, welcome in, everybody. Thank you, Doki, for coming in, and thank you for the gift sub to Blackout. I appreciate that. Blackout is another streamer I haven't touched base with in a while, actually. So, might have to might have to stop by his Twitter at some point and just poke at him a little bit later. Yeah, appreciate the support there, Doki. Definitely a big blessing. I appreciate that. We are going to be happy Monday, everybody. Merry Monday. Hope you all are doing well. Hope the beginning of the week wasn't too rough. Wasn't really rough for me today. But I did think that I accidentally ate some like bad turkey in a sandwich. So I was kind of like waiting for like food poisoning for like a good few hours. But after that, it just seemed like, no, we're probably okay. So that is good. But we are going to be diving into some Stellaris as probably turn the music just a little bit down on your guys' end. I can talk with music blasting, that's not a problem on my end, but I just don't want to interfere too much with stuff. Trying to balance it out on my end a little bit. There we go. I think that's I'll make that a little bit. 20 decibels, so I'll do. Anyways. Yeah, Dogi. I honestly, I showed somebody it, and they're just like, they think that it's okay. It's just discoloration in the meat. Because you know how sometimes, like, when you slice up poultry, like, you have dark meat and white meat, but just, like, I'm very skeptical about that stuff because, like, I've eaten perfectly good meat before and gotten food poisoning from something on it. So it's just, like, I'm a skeptical person by nature, and then to add those experiences on top of it really makes it just kind of like, ugh. But yeah. So, other than that, it was kind of okay day. I actually thought about taking a nap. But then stream would be like a little bit too late for me because I do want to chill in other people's streams tonight as well. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to balance this out now that my hiatus is kind of over with. And just enjoy things, I guess. I did sort of post a bit of an update on things. And I did want to go over that real quick. That's terrible, Doki. Yeah, I can imagine. That's see, that's one of the reasons why like I don't eat any raw meat almost ever. The only exception that has ever been is sushi, and even then I've burned myself on that. And that's because unless the animal is like fresh slaughtered and drained properly, I would just rather have the meat cooked and kill anything that might be in it, because especially if there's still like pink meat, like there's still blood in that to some degree, guys, and I don't ever want to risk that anymore. So I can imagine what that felt like after you had it, because that's I wouldn't necessarily call myself like a clean freak necessarily, but I do like continuously wash myself because I don't want to like ever get sick like that ever again. So it's like a little dirt on me is fine. Like I could roll in the mud and be okay. But like as soon as like we're talking like, oh, we're about to eat something, I'm my whole forearm I'm like putting in bleach practically because I don't want to risk anything getting into my stomach. So, you know, I've had food poisoning a lot. And in hindsight, maybe I should have been a little bit more disciplinary on washing things, but it's just like you eat stuff that you think is fine, and then you find out it's not, and then that's happened to me just a little bit too many times. But yeah, that's I even had I even had food poisoning uh, at a wedding where I was one of the groomsmen on, and it was just I nearly let's just say the bride was not happy with that situation. But fortunately I wasn't the best man, so if I was out of commission they could get somebody to fill in real quick, but I digress. Anyways, I was gonna have a little bit of an announcement. I've kind of already posted this a few times, but I did want to talk about it on stream with everybody. At least a couple streams till I feel like I've said enough about it. But let me go ahead and get onto monitor share so I can show things properly. And have that be a thing. And you had the answer, and you were there alone. You left the door wide open when you knew that you would want more. Sorry. I like this song. We are on, there we go. Alrighty guys, obviously, you know, shameless self-promotion with my handsome face there. But what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future as far as like a stream schedule goes is I am going to be having just sort of set days that I try to commit to streaming and do the best that I can on them. So there's no longer going to be a weekly schedule for a while probably. And that's because I'm going to be posting day of whether I'm streaming or not. Just to have a little bit more just freedom with whether I do this or not on the day-to-day. Because on days like today, like if I was feeling a little bit too exhausted, I probably would have just canceled the stream and just say, hey, I need to take a nap. Sorry, guys. But what we're going to be doing is that these are not like set times for stream. They're more of just like cutoff points. So I will start streams no earlier than 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And granted, this is all EST times. I will not be starting stream before 5 p.m. And I will not be having stream after 10 p.m. And the main reason is because I work in the mornings. So that's why I don't have all that. Is that I get off work generally around 3. And if I have to stay late, I don't want the stream to be starting late. Potentially just because of that. So I don't do it any earlier. But these are not like set times. Like I'm not going to try to be starting at 5 o'clock every single day. It's more of just like in between this 5-hour gap of the day, I'm going to try to be live for however long that I can. And then as we continue to move forward on things and I get my stream endurance back, and then I sort of am able to balance private life a little bit better with streaming, then this might actually be sort of set times. So that's the game plan. Mondays I will stream. I'll try to stream Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from now on as well. I do not stream Tuesdays due to private commitments I have in my life. I would prefer to keep that day off entirely for that. As well as the weekends, generally I will not be streaming, but I do want to say I will keep this open to if I feel like streaming or not, or if I missed a day in one of these guys, I'll try to make it up on the weekend potentially if I can. And that's sort of where I'm at on all this stuff. So that is sort of the explanation. And moving forward with the YouTube front, I am going to be trying to get regular series going, regular playthroughs going again. And how that's going to look, at least in the short term, is that streams will be a major part of the YouTube front for just the near future, like the next month or so. And then I will be having more and more YouTube devoted playthroughs done. And how that's really going to work is that I'm going to be getting back to Throwback Thursdays as a devoted YouTube thing. I won't be streaming it because I have plans now that sort of change up my Thursdays. And you guys will be finding out that stuff in the future, especially with the other creators I'll be working with on stuff. Because I can manage plans if I can count them towards streaming. So, like, for instance, like this upcoming Thursday, I'm with Hood on Mecha Break. And I'm going to be trying to do more stuff like that where I'm kind of just being a little bit more involved and just having fun on stream. And then the YouTube front will slowly build up and then have a solid upload schedule at some point. It's not going to happen like this month or the next few months, but by the end of the year, my goal is to have like potentially a video out from Monday through Saturday every day. But we'll see how that goes. And sometimes that's not really good for growth either, so it just depends on how we're at the time. But that's where I'm at as far as everything goes. So, anyways, we are here to dive into game, and with that, we'll be going into Stellaris, which is what we are going to be diving into today. And I have to change what it's picking up, so let me go ahead and do that. It's still on repo from last stream. There we go. Awesome. Cool. So context for this for people who don't follow me, normally, I should say, because there's most of my chatters are regulars. But for the majority of people who are going to be seeing this on the YouTube front, context for this is that we are campaigning through the Commonwealth of Man preset empire right now. So that origin is Lost Colony. So it does count to our origin list that we're trying to get through. And what I'm doing is starting up the campaign again because we did not snowball properly. And in an attempt to sort of save the campaign, we declared war on the United Nations of Earth to try to, like, punch them down a notch or two. And it's not that... I don't think tech was the problem. It's just we were outnumbered too much. And I didn't have enough of a tech advantage to destroy multiple empires worth of fleets. So that's going to be the main focus of this campaign, is just we learned a few lessons in the last one, but the main one is that now that we've kind of been brought up to speed on how the game has changed with the last DLC update and the new mechanics of it all, I think we can sincerely focus on building up properly now and then declaring war properly now, because I was a little hesitant, and I think that led to us just not snowballing enough and claiming enough territory to be able to be a threat to the United Nations. Because the United Nations, weirdly enough, became superpower real quick. And I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping they would still be kind of passive. But no, they decided to be a little bit too much into research, and then that screwed us. So that's my hope in this campaign now, is we will conquer the galaxy and rule it with an iron fist, because the Commonwealth of Man is an evil playthrough, and we will be role-playing as such. So iron mode is enabled. We'll be playing on normal difficulty, just because I prefer that. We were playing on Cadet earlier, but that was mainly just for learning the new mechanics of the game, and we still end up losing, so we'll see how this actually goes, but whatever. Yeah, basically. That's a pretty good way of summing it up, Doki. We'll be playing on a huge map, 1,000 star systems, and that's mainly because that'll give us enough empires to conquer and wage war against. And we'll be playing on a spiral galaxy because the Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. Hyperland density, we are not changing. Advanced AI starts, I set to... I feel like I set that to 5 to 10 was the best. Because we have 20 AI empires. We have all 6 fallen empires that we have on the board. Because I hate myself for some reason. And heading into advanced settings. Crisis strength will keep the same. I don't want to worry about that too much. Habitable worlds will keep the same. And I think the only main thing I want to change... Okay, I already did change this. So we're going to take... I'm not going to take the victory year off. But we'll take the victory year and endgame year start moved over just a little bit. So mid-game start is 2,500. In-game start is 2,700, and then victory year is 3,200. So I think that's fair. I might move mid-game just up a little bit and have end-game be 1,000, because I believe we're starting at 22 something. So that's 400 years in-game for that, then it's another 400, and then in-game is 200. And I think that's a pretty fair way of moving forward on this, considering how large we are. I could be dead wrong on that, but I feel like that would be best in dealing with multiple crises and fallen empires and such. So, and then to also just have a endpoint. If we haven't successfully conquered the entire galaxy by the victory year, then we'll keep the campaign going until we do. But we'll still consider it a win, even if like I get bored of it. So let me make sure our game audio is on before we dive in. It is. Awesome. And let's go ahead and click play. And see where it puts us in the galaxy. So I'm going to be streaming Stellaris probably a lot, just because it's an easy game for me to just sit down and chill on. But I got, we'll be getting into Final Fantasy as well, moving forward, and then there's a few other games like Fallout and such I'll be starting here real soon as well. So I got a lot of content for you guys coming out, so I hope you are excited about that as much as I am. There we go. We are in the Commonwealth of Man. Let's do this. Okay, first things first, we will check out our technologies. I'm gonna get coil gun research actually, because that gives us a little bit more of a bonus to our fleets when we're going to be needing it. Pop growth speed, that's actually really solid right now. And then I feel like improved deflectors would be another solid. That's a lot of research time. Administrative AI, actually. That'll help us with our research overall. Okay, so first things first, let's check out our worlds. We only have one, which is Unity, and that's fine. And what we should probably do is build out... I don't have anything to build out with. Alright, awesome. Next step is going to be sending off our science ship. There's a mega structure over here. What the heck? What is this? Ruined mega art installation. Interesting. Okay. Well, we are definitely sending our science ship that way to survey that real quick. And we'll send them that way as well. Oh wow, alright. We literally spawned almost exactly right back where we started in the last campaign. As far as, like, location in the galaxy goes. So this is going to be interesting. Cool beans, yes, as I adjust my sunglasses. I actually have my glasses on. I wear glasses regularly. And something that I kind of got made fun of in school, but I also kind of took as a point of pride is that whenever I adjust my glasses, it's almost like I do it like as an anime character almost. And I used to do it a couple different ways, but the main one that I do is that I kind of just like take my hand sometimes, and especially like I'm working at work, my hands are kind of dirty. I take the bottom of my wrist and then I just like the right side of my glasses in a very specific way. And a lot of people like you're like X anime character or you're like an anime character. I'm just like, I'll take it. I know you're making fun of me, but I'll take it. I'll take that as a compliment. Definitely stylish points. I prefer stylish points. I have a lot of swagger. Another thing that a lot of people made fun of me for in school, but something I still take as a point of pride is that whenever I walk, I have like a very swagger to myself when I walk, especially when I'm listening to music. Like I have like a certain like my body just kind of has that sort of like energy to it. I have an aura when I walk, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things about myself, actually, is that like because I kind of power walk wherever I go. Like I don't like slowly walk. I don't casually walk. That's not a thing for me. Like if you're not walking with a purpose, I will get annoyed with you. I'm that kind of person. But when I was in school, definitely people made fun of me for it, and I'm just like, yeah, deal with it. I got more swagger than you do. It's not my fault you guys don't have my aura. Basically, yeah, aura farming on the go. Anyways, though, back to game. We are going to be building out our science ship to get another scientist going. I highly recommend you guys get scientists out as soon as possible because it allows you to survey quickly and start reaping bonuses from researching anomalies and everything, as well as getting a head start on claiming territory and finding out where the choke points are as soon as possible. So we'll wait for that. I need to redesign our fleet because I prefer having, as much as like a lot of people will be like, oh, you got to build fleets specifically for the empires you're fighting. It's just like at some point, guys, I just build a well-rounded fleet and then use them because fleet power is not necessarily always a specific meta. It's just you have more ships and you win. That's kind of just what grand strategy is to some extent. Like it's cool that you can wipe out a lot of ships or a lot of troops or whatever in whatever strategy game you're playing. But numbers will eventually win in grand strategy. And that's what I kind of always try to strive for on this. Anyways, so we got this guy. We'll replace him. We'll replace this out with a... Like I said, I prefer overall well-rounded designs just to make things consistent. And one of my favorite ones is doing this one here, which is the light station, light defensive platform. And what I do here generally is I like having this light station so I can build it on smaller sections of the empire. And then you can span these guys out pretty cost effectively for the most part. But I have to look at things a little bit more to see like which star station is actually the most cost effective to use and win with. But for right now, I just enjoy making these ones. They're very solid. And have all the kind of attack patterns you need for it. Anyways, though, I'm still learning the game after, like, what, 2 years of trying to play this thing? I don't even know anymore. Upgrade our ships to the new standards. And then what I'll do is we'll go ahead and build out the rest of our defensive platforms. I think... So I like having a little bit of a design with point defense stations and hangars combined. Just because I feel like, especially if you just need a couple stations to defend just one, like, star outpost, like, you would get this and then a small defense platform, and then that would probably be enough defense for it to keep piracy at bay. So that's sort of my thought process with this. I don't like that name. Dignity. Paramount. I don't even really care anymore. Auto upgrade that. Alright, so all these guys are on auto upgrades, which are good. Alright, then we'll get a medium defense platform going. All the hot stuff. I don't know why I'm putting so many, like, reactor boosters on here, but it kind of is what it is, I think. Okay, then we'll get a heavy design going. This one will definitely replace out once we have more tech, like railguns and such. Tenacity, yes. And then the last one was, what, pure hanger? Yeah, we'll do pure hangers at that point. Oh, I just realized I forgot to name this the way that I like to name it. So I have a specific naming system that I do on some things, and totally forgot to do that on this, but that is fine. We'll just go ahead and move back and do that. So I like to name things based upon what they actually are. So this is a light station, so LS, so the LS Prudence design, and we'll delete that out. And this is H H dash point defense station. Rid of that. MS for medium station. And so forth. You guys get where I'm going with this. That's all built out properly. And then the same thing with the Nimble. So this is an interceptor corvette. Interceptor class. Definitely a station wagon. Especially with all these, how many designs we have. Might as well get a wagon and just carry them around. But station wagons were dope, though, I think. Highly underrated in the modern day. Alright, Interceptor class. I think I gotta cancel these out. Yeah. That should be enough to delete the design now. Yep. And then there we go. All that time. Something about this game is that, like, when you make decisions, you have to actually, like, move time forward in it for it to apply properly. Which pseudo I kind of get, but otherwise it does get annoying. Okay, so now those guys are done. We'll finish up our other design with an actual picket ship. And then I'll use a flank battery on this. And then I think what we'll do is that we'll have red laser and flash drivers on that. And then that'll be solid. And this is a picket corvette. And there we go. We have all the available ship designs done, and now I can focus on actually managing the Empire instead of just sitting here and messing with designs. Let's advance time as we can. We have to build up our system here, which I'm kind of disappointed that they brought back. Originally, what they had is that, like, your home system was already, like, upgraded and built. And then on one of their, like, past, I don't know if it was the last update or the update before that. I think it was the update before that. They brought that back where you have to, like,
ships have been made superior.
Build up your... That is not the right announcer voice for us here. Or advisor voice. We need something different here. We need our...
only way to make peace with others. Attention on deck!
Yeah, we need a soldier advisor. That's what we should have had as a default, but that's annoying. It's fine. It's really nothing. It's really no big deal on anything. But, yeah. So now we have to waste our time and resources building up our home system. We could be using that to build up our empire quicker, but whatever. The devs are the devs. And they have the power to make or break this game. Even though they probably broke this game a few times. I still think one of the things that Paradox needs to do is fix how fleets work in the game. There's too many ships and it causes the game to slow down. I feel like they need to rebalance that, where ships are just a little bit more important, but also you're not able to support as many because of that. Jarhead voice acquired. I'm actually surprised. I'll have to look. Maybe I would be really kind of interested in checking out if people have, like, modded advisor voices in this. I'm sure they have. There's no way they haven't after, like, 10 years of this game. There has to be someone out there who at least did a couple. You know? That's a question for a later date. Alright, I prefer getting our youngest scientist out. We'll start just surveying outright. It's going to be a bit before we can start building our home world up. But the boy's building it, so that's good. We should probably get rid of industrial wasteland and then get rid of sprawling slums. That should, by the time we're done with that, we should have enough to build up a place for those people to be employed, because the slums always gives us excess unemployment population.
Construction complete.
Yep, there we go. We'll go ahead and send this guy out to start claiming systems. Let's go ahead and get another science ship going. It's again, like, I need to be able to scout things out as soon as possible. But I don't know.
System reconnaissance completed.
Yeah, nap, man. I think I'll just go to bed early tonight. Cool, we can build that outpost now. Awesome. Yeah, I think I just need to go to bed early tonight. Build up another mining district. I like having 4 of each on the homeworld.
Field engineers have cleared a blocker.
I lose track of 2 runaway droids. With secret plans, I have an idea where they might be found.
Construction complete.
I have an idea too. I don't know how to get to that galaxy from here. Plus, wasn't that a long time ago?
Council
Wasn't it
agenda
really
ready.
far away? Which, probably no shocker to anybody, makes Star Wars a historical story. It's historical science fiction. Not sure that's even a thing as a category,
Field
but I find it
engineers
funny.
have cleared a blocker. Recon pass completed.
If only time travel was a thing, man. But it's impossible. So is faster than light travel. I was disappointed when I had to just finally come to terms with that. As much as people would love to disagree with me on that, it's just not feasible. It's not.
Anomaly found.
An anomaly. I'm glad they don't, like, necessarily pop up anymore.
Construction complete.
So just let them go. Alright, cool. Let's get the other scientists up and going here. And have them survey out. It's a 3-star system. The 3-body problem. Ooh, here we go. Got a habitable world. Oh, it's desert. That's not great. There's something going on here. Trying ourselves an Ebonic Veil. Cloaking strength +3, evasion chance +30. Alright. That's interesting.
Anomaly found. Recon pass completed.
Let's go ahead and build up another one of those guys. Discovery of alien life. It may not be alone out there. Yes. Of course, because this desert is extra uninhabitable for us. Which is annoying, but whatever. Brown dwarves are substellar objects that lack the mass to sustain hydrogen fusion. Yeah, sounds good, Doki. Don't worry, man. Appreciate the lurk. I hope you have some good food. And thanks for stopping by and for the gift sub again. I appreciate the support. So, pray you have a good, blessed rest of the night. Because it's not going to be a long stream, so I might not see you by the time you get back, potentially. So, have a good night. We'll just let all this go a little bit more. It looks like I have
System reconnaissance
potential
completed.
2 really good choke points. I have a choke point here and I have a choke point there, potentially. Potential threats. There we go. Thank you for the bits there, Jesus. Welcome in, bud. I hope you have been doing well. Merry Monday and all that. I'm assuming you're probably either getting ready for work or at work already. Alright, let time go up. Well, I'm not sure if refreshed is the right word, but I'm definitely not overwhelmed like I was. Kind of waiting for September to get that done. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but I did continue where we left off in the last campaign in an attempt to try to win the war. And it's not like we weren't holding our own, but we were having way too many enemy fleets to deal with, and at some point I'm just like, I can't win this. Like, we're not going to lose this
Anomaly
war, but
found.
we're not going to gain any territory. And that was kind of the whole last Hail Mary effort to get some territory and knock the UN down a bit, and we just weren't going to be able to do that. And at that point, I just kind of called it an L for the campaign. So, starting fresh now, which kind of works with me just, you know, getting back into streaming as a whole anyway. Ooh, here we go. This is a good world. It's only 15, but it's still a solid world that we can work with. We can turn it directly into a research world as well with that size, so that'll be good. Yeah, basically, we just couldn't win against the attrition. They'd be able to take all of our systems except for our inner core, because the Citadel tech is fantastic. I absolutely love that. That really keeps the AI at bay. So definitely recommend everybody use that for your core systems. But for this specific playthrough, we're going to be hunkering down and trying to develop our empire as fast as possible. So that requires 2 things. That requires a mining world, an industrial world, a research world, and our capital being up to snuff really quickly. Yeah, and that's how I take this game. Jesus, every campaign is kind of a learning experience, and that's sort of where I am at on a lot of this stuff. I feel like what we should do first
Recon pass completed.
is get discovery done, because that'll give us more science opportunities. And we have a... Okay, what's up here? Oh, it's the void worms. Okay, they're back. But I know how to deal with those guys better than I used to when they first showed up on the Stellaris front. Yeah, that's kind of where I am going to try to be heading on this. So there's an order to traditions I like doing just because they help me the most in a certain order. We'll be doing science first, then defensive, then unyielding. That's the right word for it. So we'll do discovery, unyielding, subterfuge, domination, and then probably adaptation or adapt. Yeah, adaptation. What was it called? I can't remember. Can't even really look at them right now. But yeah, you guys know what I'm referring to. Well, that's the thing is like as the Commonwealth of Men, we really aren't supposed to have allies. So what I'm going to do is try to have working relationships with a couple empires, especially the xenophobe empires, just because that'll give us a little bit somewhat cooperation. But because of our particular empire, friends are not really on the table. Yeah, Jesus. Well, so we'll try to establish. This is why. So this is what I'm going to be doing instead. Is whereas before I was kind of outright conquering empires, I think what we're going to be doing now is sort of vassalizing empires a little bit more and just bringing them underneath our boot as opposed to just taking their territory. We will be taking their territory, but I think what I'm going to do is sort of like take as much of the territory I want from a given empire and then vassalize their core systems and then force them to be my and just basically just make them my protectorate. And then that way I have fleets that I can use that I'm not paying for to defend territory potentially, but also just like making sure I don't have public order problems. Basically, yeah. Subjugated states. But the other half side of that was I just don't want to be messing with public order issues. Any planets that we take for ourselves, I am going to be kicking out the alien scum that lives there. You can tell I'm just kind of like role-playing with this at this point. Basically, yeah. Because what I'll do is that I'll just outright just like build a slave market and just sell all those guys out. Basically. Because I don't really see the point in like outright wiping an alien species out. That kind of doesn't really help us in any way. But we can take the planet, enslave the population, because again, we're an evil empire, and then sell it off onto the galactic market. And then that way, that sort of solves the problem without needing to like destroy an entire species. And then we can just have the rest of their empires just subjugated unto us and not worry about it. So, because it's either that or we go full-blown like we eat them and such, you know, but we're not really playing like a devourer kind of playthrough. So it's not really something that I care to explore right now. We will have like a hive mind devourer playthrough at some point, but that's not this. So this is more of just like humanity first kind of doctrine, where it's like we're not trying to like wipe out civilizations. We're just prioritizing our own and making sure all of you yield to us. It's sort of just a domination kind of thing, as opposed to eating the whole galaxy. So, as again, guys, we are the bad guys. Yeah, very, very Palpatine style. That's a good way of putting it, Jesus. So that's the kind of campaign that we're doing with this, because again, because it's a Commonwealth of Man, they're evil. And we just need to just play into that for the purposes of winning the campaign. As much as I personally don't like it, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta play the evil role playing. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Alright, now we're advancing time. Let's build another construction ship.
Recon pass completed.
And let's go ahead and get another food district done. And we'll focus on energy district, and then
New
the rest will
sitrep.
start building out. After we're done building up energy districts and such. We have an ad break starting in about 5 minutes, guys, so heads up. I wonder what we can do with this megastructure. So we can repair it, but that's a lot of alloys. Oh my gosh, that's a definitely like mid-game kind of project.
Anomaly found.
Build that out there. I want to get choke points potentially done. I feel like these guys connect. And if they do, then we can choke point that out and such. But one thing at a time, really. What is this? Oh, it's the void worms. Okay. Yikes.
Construction complete.
Excellent. Go ahead and build up those mining stations there. Go ahead and build up generator again. And then we'll start building up this a little bit more.
Construction complete.
Our amenities are okay for the moment, so I don't need to worry about that. Hey, there we go. We got another habitable planet. It's another Terran world. 21? Oh yeah, this will be really good. Really good. Not so much mining districts or anything, so that's disappointing. What does the other one have? I didn't even really check that. What kind of world is this going to be? We haven't surveyed that yet. Alright. Really? I didn't survey this?
Construction complete.
No, I surveyed it. Okay. I don't know why the information is not coming up. Find out more.
Construction complete.
Just continue building up, honestly. We're going up, up, up inside a moment. Anyways. Actually watched through Demon Hunters a couple nights ago. I personally think it's a solid movie, but I definitely understand why people don't care for it. It's not like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Command World Initiative,
New
yep,
sit
moving
rep.
forward with that. But it was alright. I think the music was solid. The plot was okay. But I heard they cut a lot of stuff out of the movie, which is kind of annoying to me. They really should
Recon
release a
pass
director's cut
completed.
of that. Because I feel like it would have... They probably cut out too much context in the movie, which might have been the reason why it felt kind of...
Recon pass completed.
I don't know. I don't want to say it felt shallow, but it felt just kind of like surface level. Because shallow has a negative connotation. It's not really what I'm going for on that. I don't know. I think it was okay.
System
Definitely, I think
reconnaissance
deserves a
completed.
sequel, in my opinion. Definitely see why people are pushing for that.
Construction complete.
And generator district 4 is done. Excellent. Let us go ahead and then get some ally foundries built out. And boost up our ally production. Which shows are you looking forward to, Jesus? I got a couple, so I'll talk about them while you're typing that out. But I've just been more of just an anime watcher lately. So like My Dress Up Darling season 2's come out, so I'm just looking forward to the next episodes on that, along with the Shield Hero, and then my favorite so far, which is
System
Dandadan.
reconnaissance
That last
completed.
episode of Dandadan was hilarious, and I loved it. Everything about that was just fantastic to me. Oh yeah, isn't that supposed to be like Alien on Earth kind of a situation? Or did I see the wrong trailer on that?
Complete.
I feel like I'm right, but I don't know because I wasn't paying attention. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Delicious Dungeon. Yeah.
Complete.
When is Delicious in Dungeon coming out? Have you heard anything about that, Jesus? He's stuck in ads, that's fine. An issue. Oh. Is there a nest of these guys somewhere? Because they keep migrating around here. But either way, let's go ahead and... I think I'll hold off on the colony at the moment because we're still building up our capital. Rather devote resources to that, personally. If anything, let's build up research labs next. Oh, you're good, Jesus. I'm just talking about the game. So just let me know when you're officially back. And then I can ask the question that I had. And it's storming outside, which is not the greatest of signs. Which just reminds me I have another hurricane coming my way. So that'll be fun. We'll see how that works out. I prefer not to have another outage. Prolonged outage. But we'll see what happens.
Construction complete.
Inside a moment. I need a I need holo theaters. And that's all the minerals I got right now, so that's great. It's great. Easy prey, let's go.
Permanent communications have been established with an alien empire.
Are they considered hostile now, though? I'm not sure.
Construction complete.
Okay, so that's... This could be a mining world. Yeah, that's the only real mining world I got.
Completed.
So yeah, that'll be our mining world, and then that'll be our... Unless, what's the desert? What was its values? I don't know, because I haven't claimed it. Crap. But I can now. Let's go. Alright, welcome back, Jesus. So I was just asking if they had like a release date for the next season of Delicious in Dungeon. Because I have not paid attention to that, but I am interested in seeing where the series goes. Gotcha. The answer is we don't know. But that is fine. It's not a big deal.
Anomaly found.
Alright, so those guys do not connect, which is fine. But I do want to get this choke point done. And then get that choke point done.
System reconnaissance completed.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think the plot's kind of weird with the sister, to be honest. I'm not going to go into it too much, because I don't want like to spoil that for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. But I just find like, I don't know, as someone who is a sibling, and like I would be a lot more like aggressive in trying to get my sister back if I had one that was eaten by a dragon. You know, like I just feel like that specific plot point was kind of annoying me, that it seemed like they're a little bit too carefree. At least the brother was. Not saying like you can't be goofy or not have a personality or anything like that, but just like at some point I need to see more of like a worry from you, bud. Same thing with Fallon. I feel like she should have been a little bit more aggressive with it too. But I liked her responses or attitude a little bit better. This is an aggro world? Are you kidding me with that? Alright, sure. Whatever. Well, first of all, Jesus, they were going into dungeons in the first place. That's not a change in character motivation there. Two, like, she was eaten. I understand there's, like, a time frame for things.
Anomaly found.
Like they try to explain, like, oh, you know, digestion's a long process. Like, you can't expect to... Like, she's not going to be digested immediately. Just, like, that doesn't mean, like, she can breathe. That doesn't mean, like, she's, like, able to function in there, you know?
Recon pass completed.
And there's just like, I feel like there should have been more of like a hustle behind that.
System reconnaissance
Personally.
completed.
Like, I understand, oh, it's a dungeon, you gotta be careful and everything, and Sanji, I love the character, but it kind of was like, I need more like purpose to your guys' like actions and actually getting back to Fallon properly. Because the whole point of like eating monsters was that they were going to be able to get to her regardless of running supplies. So that was just the thing that annoyed me, because all the other like people, you can try to say like, oh, he nearly died doing, it's like those guys nearly die anyway. And that's fine. That's not the problem. What I'm saying is that, like, I personally would have preferred seeing more of a hustle from the brother specifically to get his sister back. I felt like Fallon was spearheading that more than he was. And, like, him as a personality is kind of maybe the reason why. But I still feel like there needed to be more, like, actual, like, I don't know. I'm not describing it well right now. But I just feel like there needed to be more hustle from him. Where is... Looks like this is the next best choice. We'll do that. And we need to build up...
Science Division report success.
we need commercial zones. Yeah, I need commercial zones there. Gene clinic, ooh. But we need exotic gases for that, so we can't do that yet. That would just be a waste of research time. Yeah, we'll do fleet command limit. That would be next best step. We're serious on this one. Again, that's still not the point I'm trying to make, though. Like, you can still have all that in. I'm just simply stating, like, forget like fantasy for a second. If you had a sibling that was eaten by a dragon and you're trying to rescue her, I would like, you would be a little bit more like active and concerned about the situation. Like, I understand the whimsical parts and everything, but like that to me is like the only thing that annoyed me about the anime. Is like, I would have liked to have seen the brother as a character be more proactive and actually like trying to get to her ASAP. Whereas they kind of like go to exploration adventure. It's like, you know the path to the dragon. Get to the dragon, and you're eating monsters along the way because you have to, because you're broke. Like, and then after that, after you got to that plot point, then you can be whimsical and everything, because now you know that, like, okay, she's out there, she's alive, and now you get to explore the dungeons looking for ways of curing her. You know, like, I feel like the first season should have been, or the first, like, plot point of the story should have been a little bit more aggressive in getting to Fallon and getting her back. And then, like, you explore the food along the way, and then after you know she's back, but you don't really have her because she's under control by the wizard, then you could have explored more whimsically after that. You see, but even then, but saying like a few weeks, like, no, that should have been days. In my opinion, like, that should have been the time frame of where their thought process is at, because they're going right back in, not having the funds, forced to eat monsters because they have to, and it's like, that's the drive. You know, like, that's the drive. Like, the whole thing should have been like maybe a week total of time, not weeks totals of time. Like, I understand, like, it's a dungeon and everything, and like it takes time to get to places down there, but like, they already knew the set path. They were already there before. They're just trying to get to it at that point. I'm not arguing the story, Jesus. I'm just simply saying, like, the time frame is off to me. Like, that, like, you could have the same exact kind of, like, season, but then shorten the time frame. So, like, instead of it taking like a few weeks, it takes a few days. And then my annoyance with it goes away, because it matches better with what's happening in the actual story and what, like, the whole plot point is for the story. You see where I'm getting at? I need more research buildings. Yes, I would, Jesus. If you want to phrase this that way, sure, yeah, I would do better. Definitely. Because, like, another fact to that also is that, like, why is it that, like, the dude who's in love with his sister seems more worried about the situation than her own brother, you know? Like, that stood out to me a little bit. Uh, Should I build a I don't know what else to build here because I have this empty slot here that I need to fill with something to be productive. But what? We'll fill it with another research lab for now, and then we'll build out administrative offices and then a monument right here on things. And that should be fine for right now. I just don't think we're going to be agreeing on this, Jesus. It's like, I get the charm of the story. It's why I like the story. But the time frame is annoying to me. Like, I needed that to be a shorter time frame for the sort of feel like he's not neglecting his own sister. You know what I mean? Like, if we were saying, like, this was taking... If the course of Season 1 took place within 1 week, or even, like, just even, like, 4 days, I would have no complaints about that. Because all that stuff could have happened in that same frame of time while you are spearheading getting back to the dragon. That's my main... I guess that's where my main point is on this. Again, I'm not thinking it's a bad anime at all. I'm just saying that particular part in the anime annoyed me a bit.
Construction complete.
Everything else about it I loved. I don't know, Jesus. I feel like you and I have different standards on stories then.
Construction complete.
Because, like, say, hypothetically, if I wrote this, I would be having this on a much shorter time frame. So that the brother's getting to her as soon as possible, instead of just sort of wandering around. That bothers me. And build research science station. There we go. Alright. We have a contact somewhere, but where's the ship? Like, is it still... Oh, it's the Tiyanki. That's what we're dealing with. Okay. So we haven't run into any empires yet. We're still dealing with space fauna. Well, it doesn't have to be, like, as adult-toned story as Berserk. It's just not making sense for their motivations, is the angle I'm going at here. Because I think we're overanalyzing it now. But I'm still standing on this hill with this. I need one more influence point. Boom. With that, let's go ahead and get administrative offices going, because that'll help our unity up. But again, I will say it again, Jesus, I'm looking forward to the next season. I enjoy the anime. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pokemon, so I will critique that till the end of my life. Like, no, guys, like, if the story,
completed.
if time's not progressing in the story, then that's fine. But if time is progressing in the story, that's not okay.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
It's okay for Ash to stay young for 20 years if the story only progressed a couple of years on his end. Mining. I need more mining right now. I don't even use frigates half the time. So that research is not necessary for me. Let's go. Got another tradition. Let's get another scientist out here. And then they can research anomalies for me.
Anomaly found.
March of the Brave, okay. So these are hardliners and these are more moderates. Let's... I don't have enough unity? Really? Oh, we just had the tradition, that's why. Stinking up my stream now, Jesus?
Construction complete. Recon pass completed.
I should probably be stinking up the stream. I had tacos. Wonderful homemade tacos.
Construction complete.
Construction complete. Not gonna lie, that kind of does sound good right now. Like a nice, like, soft taco wrapped with crunch shell. Doesn't sound like a bad idea right now. But I've had too many tacos this week. I gotta hold off on it. Because I made like a whole bowl of like taco hamburger. And I've just been like, when I get home from work, I just make like a soft taco really quick, and then that's my like lunch slash dinner thing for a while. It fills me up, man. Like I feel full after those. And I enjoy them. Juices kind of drip all over me a little bit though. Sometimes. Like I try to like keep over the plate and everything, but still.
Recon pass completed.
Can't deny that it happens. Dragon Bale Fresca. Haven't tried it. But I'll keep it in mind next time I see it. Alright, let's get our youngest scientist on this. And then she can investigate all of that. Oh, dude, that sounds so good. Authentic places are really good when they're run like by legitimate people who like are trying to keep it going. Because I've been to some like authentic quote unquote places, and the food wasn't really that good because they didn't care. But like you go to like an authentic restaurant, and the people are like really like, no, I'm sharing you my food. I'm sharing you my culture. Like that's fantastic food. Always a good time. Always a good time. There's a Cuban restaurant in the city that I live near, that I go to. Always good. Always good. Real Cuban bread, real Cuban sandwiches, the works. The works. One of my best friends Puerto Rican too, and he makes me his dishes that he's like really passionate about. Oh, they taste so good. They taste so good. Oh, cool. There's a choke point here. All right, so that'll be
completed.
That'll be good. Copa Viejo. Don't know what that is.
Construction complete.
Where am I at? I think what I should be doing is we'll be claiming this over here. Yep, start claiming that direction on things.
Council agenda ready.
Council agenda ready.
Anomaly found.
Yeah, chart the stars. I need more civilian industries right now. So we'll build that out. Get the monument built out.
New sit rep.
And then we'll build the rest of those city districts up. I think we're good to start a colony ship now. So let's do that. We'll colonize this one first because we can build it as a mining colony. Not that one. We need this one here. So we'll build this one out as a mining colony and then just sort of build up whatever else I kind of need after that. So nothing too big on that. Carbon nanoaddition. I'm not familiar with that name then, if I've eaten it. Let me look it up real quick. Ropa Viejo. Oh, yeah, I've had this. I've had this before, yeah. I'm trying to remember what it tasted like to me. But no, I've definitely had this before. Rojo Viejo. I gotta remember that name then. I thought it was solid. I didn't think it was like the greatest dish I've had, but I thought it was really solid. Because what is it? Is it like pulled pork on it? Alright, yeah, it's pulled stewed beef. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely had this before. And then plantains on the side. And then churros. That's good. I'm gonna go eat something here soon. So. Anyways, though. Let's get back to the game. Oh, yeah. I need some more civilian industries. Build that up. And let that go. And I think what we'll do is that we'll make this world our science world. Because we can expand it up to 21. And then that'll really help us with pressing forward on things.
System reconnaissance completed.
System reconnaissance completed. Upgrade our fleet out a little bit. Here we go.
Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne life form.
Leaders per
System
class.
reconnaissance
Let's go.
completed.
Was I not claiming the system? I am now. And then this guy was building up there. Yep. So when we terraform this world, we'll turn it into an agro world. I'm not going to do that quite yet, though. I feel like I should be able to... I don't remember seeing this, but I feel like I should be able to adjust how long, like, terraforming is. So I feel like it's too short in the game. Like, it doesn't really make sense to terraform an entire planet in just, like, a decade. Like, 100 years, that... Like, even 50 years, that makes a little bit more, like, reasonable time frame. For all that cost and effort you put into. But anyways, I'm nitpicking again, as I always tend to do to some degree. And then we are expanding
Anomaly
our
found.
city tricks.
Recon pass completed.
Recon pass completed.
Anomaly
I think
found.
what we'll do is we'll survey that up to there.
Ships refitted.
And then we'll survey up to here after that. Survey that. Survey this. And survey that. and then we can send them off automated search again. After that, because why not? Alright, here we go. Let's send this guy out and colonize. Let's go. And we'll go ahead and build up another colony ship. And get the science one going as well.
System reconnaissance
Faith and science,
completed.
research upkeep. Yeah, let's go! Yes. Abandoned biolab.
Anomaly
Interesting.
found.
Archaeologists. We'll do that. Archaeologist.
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
Let's go. Strength and vigilance will secure our future. Yes. Strength and honor. 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 Admiral. Yes. An
New
abandoned gateway. Where? Oh,
Construction
that's a
complete.
solid spot. Only has one way to it. Oh, I could build up a solid base there. And then that way we can take on the L
Science
cluster.
Division reports a new breakthrough.
So something interesting that I've sort of learned, I guess I kind of knew, but I kind of didn't really go too far in it as far as like thinking about what it actually means. Something that's interesting with black holes is that, so the event horizon is where obviously light can't escape. Nothing can escape the event horizon. That's the point of no return officially. But something interesting about the event horizon is that it keeps the singularity that exists within a black hole from affecting the space-time around the black hole. Because inside every single black hole, there's a point of infinite gravity, essentially. So that's known as a singularity point. Now, there's debate over what that means, like if it's an actual singularity or is this something else. But generally what people sort of assume is that there's a singularity in a black hole. So what the black hole does, and the event horizon does, it sort of encapsulates the singularity and prevents the singularity from altering the laws of physics. Because what's happening is that when things get so compressed in infinite gravity, the very laws of the universe break down. And so what happens is that you can sort of think of the black hole as not necessarily like this big monster sucking up everything around it. Instead, what a black hole is, it's sort of like the universe having a scab wound. And the scab is protecting the rest of the body, that is the universe, from the infection from the singularity. So what happens is that the black hole is around a healing that the universe is doing to that singularity, because eventually all black holes will evaporate. It's a small amount, but eventually a black hole sends out the matter that it has inside of it. It's called Hawking radiation. All black holes do this. And so what is essentially happening is that the event horizon is preventing the singularity from affecting the rest of the universe or the rest of the space around it until enough mass has radiated out of the black hole to where the singularity no longer exists. So it's like this weird healing process that the universe is doing to preserve the fabric of space-time. It's really interesting. And I've never, like, thought of that before. And so that kind of blew my mind. I saw it, like, a couple weeks ago. So, like, a black hole is actually one of the most helpful things in the universe. As much as, like, it can be dangerous, it's also, like, if you leave a black hole alone, you're fine. Like, it's just like every other object in the universe that has mass, is that if you just go too far, eventually you'll collide with it. And that's sort of what the event horizon is. It's you've gone too far, and now you are inside the singularity point. But anyways, that's just something I found interesting with black holes. It's actually really, it's like a self-defense mechanism for the universe. And it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those things that goes back to why I believe in creator, and why I believe, like, the universe itself is an entity sometimes. Sort of how I think of, like, Earth is like an entity onto itself a little bit. And it's not like I think, like, the Earth is, like, alive the same way we're alive or anything, but, like, the environment that we live in itself, you could almost consider to be an organism. And how you interact with it affects how well the organism does. And so, like, on a small scale, you could call that our planet, but on a large scale, you could call it the whole universe. The whole universe is an ecosystem. The whole universe, you could almost say, is an organism onto itself to an extent. And people look at me weird because they think, like, I'm talking new agey stuff like that, but in reality, it's like, no, it's just an observation that, like, it's a system. It's an environment. It's an ecosystem. Things exist within it, and it's a system. It's an ecosystem. So it's just, it fascinates me how this stuff works sometimes, because, like, let's assume, like, there's a massive black hole in the middle of galaxies, which I believe is the case. I don't remember if that's actually, like, confirmed or not right now. But, like, it's really cool to me to think that, like, in the center of a galaxy, there's a massive black hole, which means there's a massive singularity in the middle of a galaxy. And that black holes, in and of themselves, are fundamental building blocks of the universe. So, like, it's natural that you have this collapse of the laws of physics as a singular point, which creates the singularity, which then creates the event horizon, which then creates the black hole as a whole. But then that black hole is then a building block for everything else in the universe, because the black hole stabilizes the galaxies and everything in them. Which is just, like, for me, that's really cool. And I really like that. If I chose a different path in life, I would have been an astronomer for sure. But I can't do math to save my life. Like, I failed algebra. Like, you really think you're going to be able to do math of the universe at that point? Nah, that's not a thing. But I really do find space interesting. And that's why I enjoy sci-fi as a whole. But all these things that, like, you know, go faster than light, all that kind of jazz, going back in time, wormholes, all that kind of... It's not really plausible science. And the reason why it's not plausible science is not because necessarily, like, the math doesn't add up. It's that what is required to make that math work is impossible to create by the very laws of the universe. So, like, when we talk about, like, traveling faster than the speed of light, the speed of light itself requires infinite energy to move mass at it. And that's something that we cannot produce. Alright, no star is strong enough to make mass go as fast as the speed of light. Doesn't matter how much energy you have, it requires an infinite amount of energy to maintain that. And it requires it even to even get it to that point, let alone maintaining it. So it's incredibly, for me at least, I kind of signed off the notion that you cannot travel faster than the speed of light, because it's just a fundamental building block of the universe, and to break it causes too many problems for the universe. It's like, it's one of the big arguments to why we live in a simulation, is because moving faster than the speed of light is something that the universe can't really process. So it's like you're expanding in a game world too fast to a point where it's not rendering anymore, and you crash the game.
System reconnaissance
It's sort of that mindset of why we live in a simulation. I don't buy into that personally, but I'm saying like it's one of the theories. But for me personally, the reason it's not that it's not even that the universe might not be able to process that. It's just that information travels no faster than the speed of light. So if you do indeed travel faster than the speed of light, yes, you're technically kind of going back in time a little bit. But personally, I think it actually works like this, where like you're traveling so fast that you no longer can comprehend what's happening anymore. So you can't control it, and therefore you can't really use it properly. But on the reverse side of that is that if you actually... I could be wrong about this, guys. Keep in mind, like I'm not... I researched this for a book, for a writing project, for a book project. Like I didn't actually like dive into this as like solid science that I understand. But the more I looked into, because I was trying to be realistic in my writing, and the more I looked into it, the more I realized like faster than light travel is impossible. What you can do is close to speed of light. So even traveling at a fraction of the speed of light is still insane amount of travel distance. And the more you get closer to the speed of light, the less time moves for you as an observer. And so what happens is that like even if we can't master like the traveling at the speed of light, you as someone who is traveling can traverse the galaxy or even potentially even the universe within your own personal lifetime, because time is traveling slower than you. And so what that opens up is that like you could potentially say, if we wanted to like, say if we found a habitable planet. I don't even think there is one out there personally, but let's say you find a habitable planet that can support what we think of life as. You as an individual, if you are traveling fast enough, can reach that spot in a reasonable time frame to your own lifespan and set up a colony there. It's just traveling, and you can travel even back as well. It's just you will be traveling so far ahead in other people's futures that it's not feasible for you to like have relationships with people on either end that aren't like strictly like political or business or anything. So what happens is if you want to actually have like a personal life with people, you either need those people with you while you travel, or you need to settle down at a planet at some point. Otherwise, you can't really operate. And so when I was doing the research on it, what I was finding out is that like if you wanted to have like an interstellar empire, you could maintain that empire relatively okay. It's just the messaging between areas would just take its own time. And then that in lies the problem, is that in order to like kind of govern an interstellar empire, you kind of need like a capital to do that. But if you want to be like the emperor themselves, then your messages, you will not be able to live long enough to see your messages be delivered to the people you're governing. It kind of works like that. It's not that your messengers are necessarily the problem, it's that your own lifespan is potentially the issue. Now, again, like this is getting way into the weeds here, but if you could potentially have a way of preventing aging, which they're trying to figure out, which I don't believe is technically ever going to be a thing for a couple different reasons, but the main one is that like nature doesn't actually allow things to live forever. And the reason for that is because like take something that's like biologically immortal, like a lobster or a jellyfish. What happens is that the thing that keeps them sort of biologically immortal is that they keep growing. That's the only way that you can sort of maintain your life. But eventually what happens is that you grow so big that your body doesn't have the energy to sustain that anymore. It can't produce enough energy to sustain your mass, basically. So that's a problem. Because a lot of people think that like if you solve like the DNA degrading issue, like you can live forever. It's like, I'm not even sure that's even possible to solve, but even still, even if you do that, at some point with the damage that you sustain in your life, your body will not be able to repair itself because your body repairs itself off of scar tissue. And then if you solve that problem, there's still other things that factor into that, because at some point biology as an individual person breaks down. And so I'm not confident that they'll ever solve like you will never, as a human being, you cannot live forever. You can't. But what you can do is expand lifespan so much that, like, compared to how we live now, you are essentially living forever compared to what we do now. So like if you can expand a human lifespan to 1,000 again, then suddenly a lot of what we're talking about becomes less of an issue, because you have the ability to wait at a given point in time in an interstellar civilization. It's sort of like how think of it like elves in Lord of the Rings. Like, it doesn't matter if a ship delivering some goods takes like a year to circumvent the globe. When you live for 1,000, that's just like a month of your life. You know, like, we have plenty of, like, in our own history, like we've sent orders and had ship travels be like 6 months, be like a whole, like, actual, like, 20th of our lifespan, or like a 30th of our life. I don't know what the actual numbers are. How many months are in, like, the average lifespan? All right, so let's say if, like, the average lifespan in America is, let's say, like, the average lifespan is like 70 for a guy. So 70 times 12, that's 100, that's 840 months. Let's say you had, like, let's say the people who crossed the Atlantic to settle in America, they took about, what was it, 6 months to cross that? So if we multiply that, well, hold on, let's divide that first. Let me back up here. Let me calculate this on my phone, actually. That seems like a more productive use of my time here. If we calculate that it's the average male lifespan in the US is about 840 months. And times that by what? 0.6. That, and then times that by 0.1. I could be doing the math wrong here. I probably am doing the math wrong here, because again, like, I hardly remember how to do percentages sometimes. But that's probably like 5% of your overall, like, lifespan. So that's very feasible for, like, a committed trip. And think of it the same way with, like, colonizing a star system, where, like, if it takes you about, like, because traveling at the speed of light, it takes about 4 years to reach Alpha Centauri. And let's say we had, like, a colony, whether it be, like, an orbital habitat or an actual planet there to colonize and everything. If you're traveling near the speed of light, you are experiencing time slower, which means, like, even traveling at a percentage of it, you could probably get to Alpha Centauri within maybe a quarter of your lifespan. If we're able to manage that. I'm not sure how we'll be able to manage that. There's engines that we've come up with to potentially accelerate as close to the speed of light as we can. Theoretically, we haven't actually, like, done them. But I'm just saying, like, there's ways of traveling close to the speed of light. We just can't hit the speed of light. So if you travel close to the speed of light, on our perspective, it could potentially take you a century, half a century to get there. But in your perspective, it might be like 20 years or even 15 or 10 or something like that. Again, like, this is generalities. I don't know the science behind it. But this is just what I've learned from what I've read and watched. And so, like, if you think about it, like, if I took a trek and survived, like, just 10 years to get to Alpha Centauri on my own personal perspective as an observer of the time that I'm in, that's very feasible to start colonizing all over the galaxy. Because then you're sort of kissing goodbye to Earth and then embracing the new future that you're going into, which is what the whole point of colonization is. So potentially what would be happening is that you're colonizing all over the galaxy, and those colonies are sort of their own independent things at that point. You're really not like sending anything back other than like maybe transmissions at that point. All right, because you're not colonizing a planet to gather resources to bring back to Earth. You're colonizing a planet to colonize and live there permanently. And so if you think of it in terms of these people are one-way trips, then suddenly traveling to distant stars doesn't necessarily become that big of an issue as far as time goes. What becomes part of an issue of time is if we want to maintain, as Earth, control over those colonies, which we're just not going to be able to do. That was a long, in-the-weeds kind of conversation, so I apologize for that, guys, but it's just where my brain space was at when I was... went on that tangent. Research station output, let's go ahead and increase that. Because we are kind of getting close to the end of my personal stream. I really only don't wanted to do a couple hours tonight. As sort of an ease in. Because I don't mind streaming. Like, once I get going, I can get going. But, like, some days it's just, like, it's a struggle to start, man. I'm sure you guys can empathize with that. But, anyways.
Recon pass completed.
Recon pass completed. I feel like I lost you guys on that conversation. But this is where my mind went. You know, sometimes you gotta let your mind wander on some things to find some stuff out.
Anomaly. New sit rep.
The heck was that?
Taking evasive action.
Oh, it's this thing. Sublight probe.
Anomaly found.
Ooh, this is really mineral-rich system. Let's go. That's exactly what we need. It's again, like, we're just trying to build up here. I'm not trying to like, do much of anything else but that. Let's buy up some more. Alright, so Deneb is built, which is awesome. We got our colonies going, which is awesome. So we've made decent progress today.
System reconnaissance completed.
As much as I was yapping. We've made significant progress today.
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
Let's go. Honestly, guys, I think we're good. We've set up ourselves pretty
Science
well.
Division report success.
Claiming a decent amount of territory. If I can take this chunk of the galaxy, we should be good to start building everything that we need up. There we go. No purification. Yeah, we're gonna need that. Start building things up a little bit more. This colony will take some time. Honestly, guys, I think we are... I think I'm good for today. Starting to feel tired again. I don't want to be too out of it when I leave today. So I think what I'll do is... who's available to raid right now in this given moment of time? see here. That's not what we want. Boop, boop, boop. So it looks like Caregiver is on. Just playing Minecraft. I think that'll be a solid stream to get into, guys. So I think that's what we'll do. There we go. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jesus, for chatting. Appreciate that. Thank you, Doki, for chatting and for the gift sub. And Jesus, thank you for the bits. I appreciate the support. You guys have been fantastic this evening. I apologize that the stream is a little short tonight. But again, I'm just kind of slowly easing back into things. You know, I'm not trying to overdo this and I'm not trying to stress out. So, just one little thing at a time. And, yeah. So, I'm going to try to be streaming Wednesday next. Should be my next stream, assuming everything goes correctly. And make sure to follow me over on my YouTube, because I'll be trying to post some stuff there later in this week. And make sure to follow me on my Twitter and Discord for updates and just chatting with me in general. So yeah, that's all that down below. And until I see you all next time, I pray God keeps you all safe and wise in these unpredictable times that we're living in. And until I see you all again, peace.